everybody. I'm Miss Jenny.
And I'm Miss Rebecca.
And we are your Farmington Community Library teen librarians.
And we are here today, and we're very excited about it because we want to talk to you about Battle of the Books. Woo! Battle of the Books is one of our favorite events of the entire year because it's basically so much fun. And really, overall, it's just a wonderful opportunity for you to read some amazing, fantastic books and to have a really fun time with your friends.
Yes, it is. Battle is a ton of fun, a little bit of work, but there's so much cool stuff involved, all right? So there's 3 major parts to Battle, all right? First part is your team. The second part is the 6 books that we've chosen, and we'll come back to those in a second. They're really good this year. And the third part, of course, is prizes, all right? So let's start with that first part. Let's start with your team, okay? So Battle of the Books is a program for anybody in middle school who lives or goes to school in Farmington Hills, all right? So you, if you want to participate, and I hope you do, will form a team with 4 to 6 people, including yourself. They could be in your class, they could be in your school, or they could just live in Farmington Hills, all right? If they're homeschooled and they live here, if they live here and they go to school somewhere else, if they live somewhere else and they go to school in Farmington Hills, they're all welcome to be part of your team, all right? So 4 to 6 people. They have to be in middle school though, okay? So 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. Get them together. Make sure you get everybody's contact information, all right? This is a very digital age, and right now we're sending a lot of emails back and forth, and sometimes it's just so much easier to give somebody a call and say, hey, can you get together tomorrow, than it is to try and figure out how to do that when you see them in class, right? Sometimes that's a little bit easier. So get your team together, get all their contact information, and then the second part you'll need for your team is your team manager, all right? So your team manager is somebody who's at least 18 years old, all right? They can be a family member, they can be a friend of the family, they could be a teacher, they could be a media aide, they could be a librarian. Okay, maybe not Mr. Rebecca and I, we've got to be in charge of this whole thing. But if you know somebody who would be interested in helping you out with this, their job is to help you coordinate getting ready for battle, all right? Help you get together with people, help you read the books and prep for battle, and help you with the team costume, all right? So this is that third part, is your team name / your team costume, because your team name determines what your costume is going to be, all right? Now, when I say costumes, I do not mean go out and buy stuff from Party City or go raid the local theater or something like that. Don't do anything fancy like that. Have fun, be creative, and above all, don't spend too much money, all right? So just a couple of the ones that we've done in the past that I really loved, which were really simple and really well done, were the jellyfish, all right? They were a team that had 2 people who wore white shirts with orange and black spots all over them, right? And they drew little fins on their cheeks. And then the other half of their team took poster board and made these barrel things that they wore with straps over their shoulders, right? And they said jelly on the front. And so they were the jelly fish. And it was just so cute, right? That just worked so well. A couple years ago, our costume winners were the Wrinkle in Tide, and they all were it was just one of the ones where we were at home. So they took pictures at home. They were wearing Tide t-shirts, and they were in laundry baskets, and they were popping out of washers. Only do that with your parents involved, okay, right? Just, and don't bring your washing machine to the Battle of the Books. But the whole point is, have fun with it, all right? Raid your closet, raid your parents' closet, go to the dollar store and buy some basic supplies, but don't spend a lot of money on this, all right? But use your team name to inform what kind of costume you're going to wear, all right? So you're going to need 4 to 6 people for your team manager, who's an adult, and your team name to help you figure out your costume.
Now, I know that we're throwing a lot of information at you guys all at one time, and you're probably going to have questions. You might not remember all of this, and that's totally fine. All of this information that we're talking about today is going to be up on our website, which is www.farmlib.org. You're going to click on Teen Scene and then click on Battle, and boom, all that information is up there. So if you have any questions about it, you can refer to that. You can also ask your teachers and your media aides for the link to that, or you can even email one of us, and that information is all on our website as well. A couple more logistic things. So the registration for Battle of the Books starts, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Friday, February 11th. Woo! It's a big day. Friday, February 11th. Don't forget it. And the registration for your team and everything is going to be due on Monday, March 21st. So you have more than a month to put all that stuff together and think about it and plan it and all that. So you don't have to worry about rushing it. The books, which are the most important and fun part, will also be out Friday, February 11th at both branches. So they'll be here at Liberty Street and also at the 12 Mile branch as well. And then you can start reading.
I think your media aides are also going to have copies at the media centers as well. So you might be able to check one out from school. But I think they only have limited copies. We have a few more here at the library. So feel free to come on in and borrow one of ours, okay?
We also recommend that 2 people in your team read each book. And you don't have to do it that way, but that's just a really good practice, because if only one person is reading it and then you're sick that night, you can't make it, something comes up, then your team is really in trouble. So if you have 2 people read each book, you can help each other out, or even if there's a question that you don't know and you're really stuck on it, you'll have another person there to help you with it.
All right, so you got your team together, you started reading your books, you're really enjoying the books, because I really hope you will. There's a lot of fun ones this year. The next part is the battle itself, all right? So battle this year is going to be held Monday, April 25th at 7 p.m. Now, we are planning for doing it in person at the Caustic Center, all right? That's our traditional way of doing it. That's our favorite way of doing it. If for some reason we have to, we'll go back to doing it virtual like we have the last 2 years. We'll use Zoom and Kahoots to do the battle, but we're really hoping that this year we can do it in person. Now, because we are planning to do it in person, we are saying that we're going to require that everybody who comes wears masks. If you come, if your team manager needs to be there, any family or friends who show up, we want everybody to wear masks, because we're going to be a lot of wonderful people in the same room. We want everybody to stay as safe as possible, all right? So, but here's how it works when you get there, all right? So you show up, your team shows up, team manager shows up, you're going to be wearing your costumes, all right? We're going to have a bunch of tables scattered around the room, and there'll be like a little thing that'll say your team name on it. So you all come together and you sit together with your team at your table, all right? And then at some point, Mr. Beck and I will be at the front of the room and we'll be like, hey, we need everybody's attention, you know, kind of thing. Everybody quiets down, everybody sits down, gets ready. And then we'll start asking questions, all right? So we're going to ask 5 questions from each of the 6 books. And when I say we're going to ask questions, I'm not talking about like essay questions or philosophical questions or anything like that. We're talking about questions that have a 1-word answer, okay? So for example, we might ask, in the book, when Harry met Sally, what color was Harry's bike, all right? Now, if we ask that question, Harry's bike is not going to be like zebra striped or pink polka dots or anything like that. Harry's bike will be a solid color. It'll be yellow, or it'll be green, or it'll be blue, something like that. We won't ask a question that requires more than a 1-word answer, all right? So when we ask that question, you'll write down on a piece of paper, you'll write down the 1-word answer, and you write down the author's last name, all right? Spelling doesn't matter. It's okay if you get it wrong, as long as you and your team manager can figure out what it is you're saying. That's all that matters, all right? So after end, we'll have 20 seconds to do that. And I know that sounds like a very short time. It's actually a lot longer than you think it is, especially when we're standing up there and we're so excited to hear what happens. At the end of 20 seconds, we'll say, okay, everybody, pencils down, and then we'll read out the answer. And this is my favorite part. This is when everybody starts cheering because they got the right answer, and sometimes the wave starts, and it's just so much fun, right? And then we say, okay, guys, shh. All right, next question, all right? So we'll go through 30 questions, just like that, and then we'll have some sort of entertainment while we're waiting and collating all of the answers. And then it's time for prizes.
So that is the second most exciting part of battle. The first part, of course, being the books, but the prizes are also really exciting. And guess what? We hand out a lot of prizes for Battle of the Books. So we have a prize for first, second, and third place for the trivia answers, and we have prizes for first, second, and third place for the costume contest too. So that's 3 different opportunities that you have for each category to win. And I'm so excited to tell you that the prizes are you ready? Barnes and Noble gift cards. Oh my gosh, so you can use it to buy more amazing books. How fun! And you can use it in person if you want to go to the store, and also online if you'd rather just do it from their website. So you have 2 options for that as well. So awesome!
So much fun. All right. So
to wrap it up real quick, we're gonna need everybody to get together their team manager, and their team name. You're gonna need to read 6 amazing books and put together some crazy fun costumes and show up on the night of April 25th for battle. That's it.
now this is a question that we've had in the past, and I know that some people are probably thinking this right now. You don't have to do this. We will cry if you don't,
A lot.
but you don't have to do it. All right. This is purely voluntary. This is something you do because it's a lot of fun, and we're excited to see you. Hopefully because you like reading, maybe because you just like putting together crazy fun costumes. If you've got any questions, let us know. Talk to your media aides, talk to your teachers, but we're really hoping that you'll join us for battle this year. All right? So, with that, it's time to announce this year's books. All right? So, Miss Rebecca, start us off.
All right. The first book is called Eleanor, Alice, and the Roosevelt Ghost. Look at that awesome cover. So this is actually a historical fiction book, and it's set at the end of the 1800s in New York City. And in this world, which is like our world, but one main difference, there are ghosts that live among humans. What? Ghosts. Most of them are fine. They don't hurt anybody. They're just normal ghosts. But every once in a while, there may be one that's a little bit more malicious. So Eleanor Roosevelt, who you may have heard of before, she's a very important person, and teams up with her cousin Alice to try to find the mystery of why there is this new ghost that has moved into Roosevelt House. It's really fun, lots of exciting, a little bit spooky, but awesome.
All right, book number 2 is one that you may have heard of because of the Netflix show they made about it. And that is Enola Holmes and the Case of the Missing Marquess. All right, so this one is a mystery with puzzles. It's also set in pre-Victorian London. All right, this is Sherlock Holmes' younger sister. All right, and when her mother disappears, she runs away and escapes from Sherlock, which I'll tell you what, she's a lot smarter than he is, and manages to make her way to London, trying to figure out what happened to her mother. And along the way, she happens to kind of help out this young guy who's kind of lost. All right.
So for the next book, I want to ask you guys a question. Raise your hand if you love playing video games.
I like watching them.
If you like playing video games or you like watching video games, you are going to love this next book, which is called The Last Gamer Standing by Katie Zhao. This is a really exciting science fiction book that is centered all around video games and gaming and this virtual reality competition that is going on. So you have the really fun, exciting aspect of it with this competition. It also has to do a lot with bullying and standing up for yourself as well. You don't want to miss this one. So much action, a lot of exciting events. Last Gamer Standing.
All right, our 4th book is called My Life in the Fish Tank. All right, and this is our realistic fiction. So this one takes place in modern day life, and it's experiences that people might actually have, like you or me. In this case, it's a young friend whose older brother is diagnosed with a mental illness. He's doing good, he's getting the help he needs, but his parents say, hey, we should keep this private. We don't need to tell everybody about it. Which to our main character sounds like, this is a secret. You can't tell anybody what's going on whatsoever. Which, if you've had a secret like that, it starts to affect things, right? You can't talk to your teachers about it, you can't talk to your best friends about it, and everybody starts to wonder, is everything okay? And you're not going to tell them, all right? And that kind of affects your life, especially because you're worried about your brother, but especially because, does that mean you can't do things that you really want to, like go to science camp?
our fifth book is really exciting because we're doing another graphic novel this year, and that is New Kid by Jerry Craft. And one really amazing thing about this book, it is the first graphic novel to ever win a Newbery Award. How amazing is that? So this is also a contemporary realistic story about a character who is new in school. He really wanted to go to this art school because he loves art, he loves drawing and sketching, but his parents sent him to this other private school instead. So he has to deal with being the new kid, which is never an easy thing, dealing with these new friends versus his old friends, and it's just basically a school story. Really awesome, great illustrations, and very prestigious book. New Kid.
What a Newbery, we love that. All right, so our last book for this year is a fantasy pick, all right? So this one is A Wish in the Dark, all right? And this one is set in a Thai-inspired fantasy world, all right? It's also loosely based on a classical story that you might have heard of called Les Mis, or Les Miserables. And it's basically the story of somebody who escapes from prison and somebody else who goes to chase them down. Because, you know, somebody escaping from prison is a bad person. They should not have escaped. But maybe not all of those things are true. All right? So I hope you'll enjoy this one. All right, those are our 6 books for this year. I hope that we will see you at Battle. And again, let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you soon. Stop in and say hi, okay, guys? We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.